problem. They can't. Huh?
Yeah, we're just going to go.
We're waiting on 12 o'clock.
Oh, it's 12. Okay. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, everybody. Nationwide Sports is on the air. My name is Rich Perez with the Super Bowl winning quarterback from the Redskins. I'm going to say it. And the Raiders, of course. Jay Schrader. How are you doing, sir?
Good. How are you? Good to be back, man.
Yeah, 3-week hiatus.
Yeah.
All right, 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks. A little travel, a little family time over the holidays, all that stuff. But hope it was all well and all that. But it's good to be back.
Oh,
good
my gosh. Yeah, I saw you were in Branson. I was in Denver.
Yep. Place check off my bucket list. I'd been wanting to go to Branson for a while, and so I ended up going and had a great time.
Is Dolly still a big thing there?
Dolly's still a big thing. In fact, I went to Dolly's show, her Stampede show. They serve you dinner right there. It was all Christmas music, so it was awesome. So it was very nice. Yeah.
Does she show up?
She doesn't show up, but they have horse riders and all that. It's very good short. Yeah, they do a lot of trick riding and stuff like that. So
yeah, I think it's a misunderstood place. People don't really know what's there.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things. Yeah,
a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot going on there. So. But it was nice. I enjoyed the getaway, and it was nice to be with friends.
Wow. Well, got a good crowd here at Treasure Island. Of course, we're at Señor Frogs. I want to thank Denny, of course, Elite Corporation
and Entertainment. Thank them for hosting us here and all that. And if you have any events coming up or anything like that, or if you want to come down to Señor Frogs, get a hold of Denny at 702-337-7577, and he'll arrange everything here at Señor Frogs. And come on down. They got 2-for-1 yards here and everything else. Restaurants open and all that. So come on down, join us.
Well, we're coming to you live. So some of the games are already going on. It's the first time we've done a Sunday.
Yeah.
And so we're in the middle, like third, fourth quarter of some of these games. Third quarter with the Raiders.
Third quarters, most of them.
Let's talk about the Raiders for a minute, because you and I were discussing this before the show. I don't think the Jets have a chance to win this game, unlike a lot of people who somehow think the Jets are going to win. 0-11 is 0-11.
0-11 is 0-11, but they're still a professional football team. The Raiders have got to come and play, and they're doing that. Darren Waller's off to a great start, which they need because Josh Jacobs is out with the ankle, so he's not playing. So they're doing some good things, but they're going to have to continue to score. It looks like the Jets have been able to score on them a little bit. The defense has got to stiffen up, but right now the Raiders are up, so let's hope that continues.
Yeah, it's 24-13 at the moment. Of course, Sam Darnold. What do you make of Sam Darnold? He's in a situation kind of like he's almost like a lame duck quarterback, because they're going to get the top pick. Do you go for Lawrence, or do you just work with Darnold?
Well, that's an interesting question, because, the coach came on who, we both said 4 weeks ago, how is he still coaching, right?
Right.
How is still Adam Gates still a coach? I mean, there and all that. But and he came on just this last week and he said he hasn't done enough to develop Sam Darnold. Well, you're kind of getting your own self fired right there, big guy. I mean, you were brought in to handle this guy and all that. Now you're telling people you didn't do it. So it'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting decision. I look at it this way: if they end up getting the number 1 pick, I think they'll try to move Sam Darnold. I think they'll try to trade him, and then they'll try to get Trevor Lawrence and start afresh.
Boy, so maybe Darnold lands in like Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. There's a few teams out there that are struggling that could use a quarterback, and I think he has a chance to be good. He's just got to get in the right system. And here again, I'm going to say, I look at what Ryan Tannehill has done.
Yeah.
He got into the right system, and he's thriving. So I think Sam could be that guy.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think everybody's rooting for the guy. I mean, he had such a good career at USC, and then going to the Jets. I mean, he was kind of negative coming in, and they just haven't gotten any better. So, and he's gone through how many coaches? That's hard, right?
Yeah, he's gone through a number of coaches, and the problem with the Jets is they don't have the personnel around them.
Right.
Right. So they've got more than just the quarterback hole to fill. They've got some other hills that they've got to fill.
Yeah, now let's talk about the Raiders for a minute, because Derek Carr, boy, what happened last week in Atlanta? What was your best assessment?
Well, last week was just one of those weeks that you try to forget. He'd been playing really well, and the unfortunate thing is a game like that crept in. You know, you never ever want them to come, but they do come.
Right.
You can't be perfect all the time. He's played extremely well. He's off to a much better start again this week. So let's just hope it was a 1 week that, you know, he got it out of his system and, you know, all that. So, you know, you chalk it up. We all go through there. You know, 4 turnovers in a game is no big deal. I threw 5 picks in a game. So I know what it's like. And, you know, played the Giants. I threw 5 picks. We lost 23-21. So, you know, sometimes you got to try to do things that are a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
For what you're trying to do, or what, you know, what's working that day, and you just got to kind of roll with the punches.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, because a quarterback generally is following a game plan, but when that game plan starts falling apart, they fall behind. Now they're telling you, hey,
got to take risks. You got to try to make plays. You got to try to do things outside of the system. And
then you look like the bad guy.
And then, well, yeah, but you know what? That's part of it.
Yeah.
You're the quarterback. You get more credit when things go well, and you get more blame when things go bad.
Yeah.
But that's okay, and that's part of the job you signed up for, and you got to be a big boy and take it.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Well, I'm hopeful that the Raiders come home next week. I can't recall who they play next week. Off the top of my head, I can't recall. But
let's check the schedule.
They have a game at home next week.
They're at
Miami.
Miami. Yeah.
Tua's headed to town. So,
right.
So that's one time I may not have to go with Tua. So, all right, Jay. So the Lions and the Bears. Here's 2 teams that I can't figure them out. They're almost equals. They do great, then they do terrible.
Yeah.
They do great, they do terrible. But it's never consistent.
Right. Right. But in this game for today, I think the Bears are, you know, should end up winning this game just because, you know, Lions just fired their coach. They've got, you know, turnover in the front office, what's all going on. You just never know how a team's going to react to that. But on paper, it should be a Bears game. Who knows? Who knows?
So right now it's 23-13. David Montgomery is having a great day.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's what they need. Is Mitch Trubisky the quarterback in the long term?
You know, I don't think either one of those guys is the quarterback in the long term.
Yeah.
You know, I think they're scrambling. Here again, here's another team that's trying to figure out their identity. And it's too bad because their defense is pretty darn good.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they've got a defense that can take them to the playoffs and do well. It's just their offense has really been struggling. And neither quarterback in that system has worked out well.
Wow. You know, I was thinking about the other day when the Denver Broncos, when I was in Denver, didn't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
And I said, would they ever venture out and call somebody who retired, such as yourself or others? Not that you would do it, but would they do that?
You know, it'd be interesting. I don't know.
Would you do it for a game?
I'd probably go back and do it for a game. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, you would have completed more than one pass.
I would put a lot of money on myself that I could complete more than one pass going into a game. You know, if I had, you know, even a day or two like he had, kind of just, here's the basics, here's what we're doing. You know, football's football. If you've been around it, and if you know how to read defenses, you can get yourself to the right guy.
Yeah, no doubt. That's what I thought about. I said, why didn't John Elway call Jay? One game. Hey, Jay, I just need you for one game.
I'm just a year younger than John, so, you know. Yeah, I would have strapped on. I would have looked like the Pillsbury Doughboy out there with all the pads I had on, not like the old days where I didn't wear anything. But, you know, it's funny because, you know, standing back there, I can still throw it. I'm not too sure what happened the first time somebody hit me, but, you know, I'm sure I'd find a way to get up and get going.
Hey, if Tyson and Roy Jones could do it,
that's right.
You could do it.
You find a way. You find a way.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
But let's say Bengals and Dolphins. This game, of course, I don't think any of us thought by any opportunity that the Bengals are going to win, but they're in the game.
They're in the game. Again, the Bengals are better than you think. You know, they really are. But now, you know, they're on a backup quarterback too, which is too bad because I thought Joe Burrow was playing pretty good football down there. But the Bengals are a team struggling to win. And the problem is with a team like that, if you let them around, if you keep them in the game, it's 13-7 in the third quarter. If you keep them in the game, all of a sudden they start believing they can win the thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and So the Dolphins are going to have to get a score or two here and try to put some distance between them to feel comfortable about this.
I'm feeling good about what Miami's got going on. I think they're showing a lot of promise.
Yeah.
They're making all the right moves. It happened with Tua, and they've got Fitz magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to say Fitzpatrick, Fitzgerald?
Yeah.
Fitz.
He's there. But here again, what a great call by the organization. Okay,
Yeah.
to say, hey, we're winning games, we're doing this, we're doing that, but we still want to go.
Right.
You can't go that far.
Well.
Hello. You can't go that far with our mic, doll. We're on.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, we're just making some adjustments here. There we go. There's a Christmas hat.
We're trying to get you a little better.
A little better view.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right. I'll just lean a little forward. It's all good. All right. Let's go. Anyhow, dealing with iPads, right?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Let's go Colts and the Texans because this is a good game. I initially all week was on other shows saying I like the Texans.
Yeah.
And, this is a game that I felt like Phillip Rivers was walking into a trap. Good team, but man, suddenly the Texans are getting momentum once they got rid of their coach.
Yeah, they are. I think it took a big weight off everybody's shoulders. It was kind of the elephant in the room, and all that. And I think they're playing better. Deshaun Watson's doing a great job, but they're still lacking some playmakers. They lost a wide receiver this week who's out for the next 6 games, and they had just released a veteran wide receiver, so they're down on the receiving core and all that. So it'll be a tough task for them to win, but I think the Colts will end up winning.
You like the Colts? All right. Yeah,
Cut our heads off there.
Sticking with sticking with the Texans. All right, let's go Jaguars and the Vikings. Now here's the game. Everybody thought the Vikings are.
Yeah.
I know he's a good friend of yours, and I'm sorry, Kirk Cousins. I'm sure he's a good guy. He's really struggling. I don't.
Yes.
And is it his fault? Is it coaching? I don't know.
Right.
But everybody's pointing to Kirk.
Well, here again, the
what do you
quarterback's going to take it, and and Kurt hasn't done anything to diminish that. He's very much been up and down, and in his career and in his games, and I think he's got to find a way to be more consistent. And until he can do that, he's going to get the criticism. So
Yeah.
that's the unfortunate spot. It's hard to be consistent. The really good ones are,
Right.
But hopefully he can put together some time and go from there.
Yeah, I look. They were losing the game early, 9-0. We're about to lose our
Uh-oh.
camera.
Yeah. That's not going to work, folks. We're going to go back up here.
Yeah, it fell. All right. All
Okay,
right.
let's get back
Let's
up here.
get back. Let's get back. Sorry, they're making
Sorry,
some adjustments.
We're trying to make some adjustments. Didn't work out.
Basically, we got to get a tripod. I think.
Yeah, we got to get something here. Sorry, folks. It's a little wobbly there. You haven't been
Bear with
drinking
us.
either have we. So
No, it's Sunday in Vegas. I got a couple hundred people here.
yeah,
A big frog with his arms in the air.
there you go.
All right, here we go. So So anyway, the Vikings really should win that game.
The Vikings should win the game. Yes, there's no question about it. It's going to be a big blow to them if they don't win, because it's a game that they need to keep momentum going.
All right, no doubt. Let's go Saints and the Falcons down in Atlanta. Boy, now Atlanta put the surprise on the Raiders, but
last.
now you got the Saints, a rival who really has had their way with them lately.
Yeah, and 2 things to see. I know the game was fairly close. I know beforehand. I don't know. Haven't seen a score rate yet, but in the past few meetings, the Saints have been able to get, and put a lot of pressure on the quarterback down there, and it's going to be interesting to see. I know they've come up,
21-9.
21-9, so the Saints are up, yeah. And it's just a matter. I think the Saints defense has the Falcons' number. I think that's what it comes down to. The Falcons struggle against the Saints putting up points, and here again, Matt Ryan has been sacked a lot over the last couple of games, and it looks to be holding true again.
Well, now we get to a game that has really surprised everybody, because the Browns were supposed to just fall flat on their face against the Titans.
Yeah,
Titans are doing great, but look at the score.
they're they're
38-13.
kicking you know what out of them today, and good for the Browns. This is a game that the Browns are making a statement.
Right.
Okay, that they've been kind of kicked around all year. They're 8-3 coming into this game. They've got a good football team, and Tennessee is a good football team.
Yeah,
Tennessee's
no doubt.
been playing well, and to go down there and really put one on them is a good thing. So,
Yeah.
good for the Browns.
Yeah, and Baker Mayfield suddenly looks like Baker Mayfield. And really, I think if you were to compare the two quarterbacks, Tannehill's he kind of reminds me of Jim Everett.
Well, here's the way I assess the two quarterbacks. Those two quarterbacks can be very effective when their run games are working.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
When their run games are working. Yeah, if they have to line up and throw it 45 times, they're probably not the two guys you want.
Yeah.
Just because they take risk. They do.
Yeah.
They get into that mode where, hey, we've got to do something a little outside the box, especially Baker, because he can run around and he makes some risky throws. But when he stays in the system and the run game is working, he can be very effective.
Explain something to me, because you had Marcus and Bo back there, and then you had great receivers, Sam Grady and Tim Brown and Fernandez. Anyway, how did you know at what point the run game was working or wasn't working?
Well, we were very run dominant, as was the league back then. It was much more of a run game, physical type of football. So we were going to impose our will. Okay. Right. But I do remember, there was a time we went up to Seattle, when they were very good.
Yeah.
They were in our division back then and everything else. And I threw it 50 sometimes.
Wow.
Because, they had Cortez Kennedy up front. I mean, they were legit.
Yeah.
They had a defense, and we just decided our best bet was to go ahead and throw it, and that's how we ended up winning the game. So you kind of get a feel for the game plan going in. But early on, first quarter, second quarter, you can start figuring out the run game. You make some adjustments at halftime, and you pretty well know by then.
Right. Well, no doubt about it. Well, let's see here. We got these 1 o'clock games.
Yeah.
And there's several of them. Let's start with the Giants and the Seahawks. I don't know much of a game here with Seattle. Pete Carroll really has a good team. Giants
are struggling.
Going through the motions.
It's kind of going through the motions. And here again, this is a statement game for Seattle.
Right.
Seattle has to bounce back and play well. They've been, hit or miss the last couple of weeks. Russell Wilson was, the for sure MVP, 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he struggled a little bit. I think Seattle hits their stride today. I think, it's whenever you look at the schedule and the season progresses the way it has, Seattle's got to be very thankful they got the Giants on the schedule right now. It's like, hey, we can get healthy, we can do some really good things, and we can come out of this game feeling really well. But they've got to go play.
Yeah, you would hate for the Giants to slip in and win that game. Oh my gosh, Pete Carroll would have a fit.
Pete Carroll would have a fit, and that would be a tough one for the players to overcome.
Yeah.
It really would, because it's like, hey, we're supposed to win this game, and we need to win this game, and we just didn't.
And really, we have 3 teams facing that today. It's the Seahawks, the Raiders, and the Steelers.
The Steelers, yeah.
And Steelers in Washington. That game is Monday night. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But Rams are playing the Cardinals. Always a tough game.
This is going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a good game. This is going to come down to what can Kyler Murray do.
Yeah.
And it's going to come down to what can Kyler Murray do outside of the pocket.
Yeah.
Okay, because he's going to have to get out.
Yeah.
Okay,
he's got to move.
He's going to have to move. There's no two ways. I mean, if you think he's going to stand back there, he's not.
Right.
Okay. I mean,
yeah.
Rams front four is going to get there. The question is, can they contain him? Can they stop him from running for 100 yards and making those big plays? Because when he breaks containment, he's got some receivers he can throw to.
Now, Jared Goff, what are your feelings on Goff? He's kind of an older type quarterback, sits in the pocket a little bit.
Right. He's a pocket passer, and here's another one that needs a play action game. So their run games, they have to establish enough of the run game that it works.
Yeah.
And what Sean McVay has done is bootlegged him a little bit to get him out and get him some space. But also what that does is that eliminates half the field. Now you're only reading half the field.
Wow.
So you can kind of go from the top of the scale all the way down. Start deep, come down, hit your check down if you need to, and I think that's helped them too. So, but they need the run game, to be effective. They're not going to live by it, but they need it to be effective.
So, which way are you going on that game?
Oh,
Rams and Cardinals, one of your ex teams.
You know, Cardinals didn't look well last week. I'm going to go with the Cardinals.
Cardinals.
I'm going to go with the Cardinals. I just think that Kyler Murray is going to run around, make enough plays. I like Fitzgerald on the outside and Hopkins on the outside. And if he starts running around, I think those two guys make some plays.
Did you ever meet Mr. Bidwell?
I did.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
He seemed like he was. I met him at a Super Bowl once. He seemed like a very stern guy.
Yeah, he is very stern, very set in his ways. Let's
Yeah.
just say,
Yeah.
and all that. But the Bidwell family is good. They've been good for Arizona down there. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Arizona. See if they can't pull this out.
Arizona. All right. I'm leaning that way. I think it's.
I know,
be
but
close.
it's that LA poll. I
Oh,
know
it's
it's
an
that
LA
LA poll.
thing.
Yeah,
You and I are LA guys, and we grew up with the Rams and Roman Gabriel and all those guys.
Right.
Did you ever meet Roman?
I have not met Roman. No.
I know the son is always
is
around.
around, yeah.
Is it grandson or son?
Yeah,
I never understood that.
I think it's his son. Yeah.
He said everything.
Yeah.
But Jack Snow, all those great guys,
Yeah.
man, it's hard to go against the Rams. Do you like the new uniforms the Rams have?
You know,
That cream one, I'm a little iffy on.
the cream one, I'm not too sure about. I do like the white ones. I think their white ones are very clean when they come out in the all white. I think the yellow gold, whatever you want to call it, with the contrast blue. I think those are sharp.
Yeah,
I really do.
yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, I was very disappointed in last week looking at the Chargers and they wore the dark blue, all dark blue. That's not the Chargers.
No.
The Chargers are the powder blue.
Light blue.
Those are the best uniforms yet. So
Oh my
they got to
gosh.
keep those powder blue in the Chargers.
San Diego Supercharged.
That's it.
Yeah, you can't even say that
San
anymore.
Diego Superchargers.
Look,
they got a whole song. I mean, come on, let's go.
Jay, if you and I had billions of dollars,
Just
and we
like
said,
the old Houston Oilers song.
yeah,
Come on.
and we had enough money to buy the Chargers, wouldn't it be the smartest thing to move them back to San Diego?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, this is like a no-brainer,
It's
right?
a no-brainer. I mean, yeah, people in San Diego would embrace them. They always have. They've always had great crowds down there.
And play in that stadium. What's wrong with that stadium?
Right.
How's the locker rooms there? Are they bad?
No, they hosted Super Bowls. I played in a Super Bowl in that stadium.
that
So
stadium.
come on. So obviously, could it be updated? Sure, but other than the brand new stadiums that are here, who couldn't say they could use some upgrades?
And
okay?
it's so nice coming off that freeway. And there it is.
There it
Whoa.
is. There it
Massive.
is. So, yep.
So, all right. So let's go Eagles and the Packers, of course. This is in Green Bay. Eagles, always a little thorn on the Packers when Ray Rhodes was there, but not lately. Packers have handled them.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, guy's looking good.
Aaron Rodgers is playing well. On the other hand, Carson Wentz isn't. And Carson Wentz kind of scares me in this game because he came out publicly and said he needs to play better. And that's fine. I understand that. I just don't want him to play tentative.
Right.
That's the issue.
Right.
And I think he's going to be I think that's going to be the case because he has a tendency to hang on to the ball now. And if he's thinking about whether it's the right move or not and he hangs on to it too long, the Packers are just too good, and especially up in Lambeau. I know there's no fans there, but still a tough place to play up in Lambeau.
Yeah, in Lambeau. Cold, huh? Have you had a cold game there?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes. We went out for warm-ups, and we had Luis Sendejas as our kicker, and I was the holder at the time. So, you go out for special teams and everything else. And Luis being from Arizona, everything else, he came out, and the first thing we had to do was chip the ice away on the field where the spot was and everything else. Luis hit the first one, which was extra point, back then, and barely got it over, the crossbar because it was cold. And he hit one more about halfway up, and he says, "I'm good." Went back in. No, that was it. That was the end of his
You had
warm-ups.
nothing else to do with it.
Come game time, we're getting out there, and Coach Gibbs is, looking at me, and he says, "We ain't kicking any field goals. So if we get down there, always know it's 4-down territory." I'm like, "Gotcha."
Oh, man. Yeah, is he the Sendejas that played for the Rams, too? Or are there others?
There are others.
Oh, there's many, right?
Yeah, there's a couple, and then there's one of the younger ones is now a kicker at Arizona State.
Oh,
I was
geez.
watching the UCLA game, and they got
You're like,
they got a
Sendejas.
son or somebody down there kicking there. So
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. All right, so let's go to the Patriots and the Chargers. Now, here's the game. Cam Newton, I've never seen a quarterback like this. He's so methodical. Just he's methodical,
Yeah.
but he's successful. But he's different than any other quarterback I've
He
ever
is.
seen.
He's different. I mean, he's huge. He's 255 or something
Yeah.
like that. He's big. He can run. He's very, very athletic. But we've talked about this since the beginning of the season. His throwing motion is just not natural.
No,
It's just not. And here again, he's not a guy that's going to beat you with his arm.
no.
I think I saw a stat. When he throws 40 times or more, he hasn't won a game. It's
scary.
That's scary. So, obviously you play the Patriots, you got to take away the run, you got to take away his run ability and make him throw the ball. But he's an unbelievable athlete, no question about it.
Yeah, I feel like Belichick is kind of watching him. Do we want to keep him? Do we want to move on?
Well, this is an in-between year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is an in-between year. I think there's 3 or 4 guys coming out that Belichick would like to go get
Yeah,
and groom them coming out, and I think this is just a stopgap year,
Yeah.
and they're trying to figure out ways to win the games.
Now the Chargers, on the other hand,
Chargers, on the other hand, have got their quarterback of the future, but
Justin Herbert.
But unfortunately, their defense has given up 2 17-point leads already this year, and they've been in just about every game. They just haven't figured out a way to win it. So, here again, what's going to happen down there? Everybody's talking about the coach being on the hot seat. I don't know if that's the real issue. I think they just got to fix some holes on the back end of their defense because they got some guys up front that can go get the passer. They're having trouble covering guys on the back end.
Well, we're at Senior Frogs.
Yep.
Fabulous place here at Treasure Island here in Las Vegas, Nevada. If you haven't been here, come on down. We're also
Vegas is still open, folks. It's still open. Okay. Yeah, we
Plenty of
got to wear masks and all that, like everybody else around.
We have them. We have them.
Yeah, we got them. So, but Vegas is still open. Come on down. Still a good time.
Yeah, and that's a good question. Can you put the seal on the Patriots playoff? I would say that's probably a good chance. That
Good
could
chance
happen.
if the Chargers end up winning that. And you know what? I think the Chargers do have a chance of winning that game. I really do.
Well, now let's go to 2 teams tonight that really, this could get ugly quick. I mean, Broncos and the Chiefs. Again, now the quarterbacks have been off for 2 weeks.
Right.
Now they're coming back. Be it Drew Lock, Bortles, or whoever the other guy, Driscoll.
Yeah.
I just, look, the Broncos have nothing. They have nothing to offer here.
Yeah. And they have no way to stop Kansas City.
No.
Kansas City's got too many weapons.
That point spread could be 23 and a half.
Yeah, it
It's
could.
13 and a
Yeah,
half.
I can't believe it's only 13, actually. But, yeah, I don't know. I think this one, the only way this one stays close for any amount of time is if the Chiefs are playing well and turn the ball over.
Right.
But that's been totally uncharacteristic of the way
No.
they played. So I don't see it being much of a game tonight.
No, and Andy Reid, pretty strict guy.
Andy Reid's and Andy Reid is, if you look at over the course of Andy Reid's career, and this is why I love Andy Reid, his teams don't get high and low.
Right.
There's
Right.
never been those. It's always been that even. Every game they come, they play, and that I'll tell you what, that's a lot of credit to Andy. And
It is.
As we said when they won the Super Bowl this year, I was very glad for Andy Reid because he's been a heck of a coach for a long time.
Unreal.
Yeah.
And you and I have talked about this. He was my neighbor growing up
Yeah.
in Los Feliz in LA. And never in a million years, you're playing in the street
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
Andy's going to be one of the
Andy's
best
a Super
coaches
Bowl,
ever.
one of the best coaches ever. And Andy Reid is the type of guy every quarterback wants to go play for.
Right.
Because every quarterback he's had, the system works for that quarterback.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. And that's just, that's
Hey.
just Andy Reid being Andy Reid.
I mean, look at
and adapting.
McNabb.
McNabb was really good. You just run down the list everywhere he's been. And,
Yeah.
now he's made, obviously he's got, a kid that's got unbelievable talent and just making throws all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
In Mahomes and all that. And it's been interesting and very fun to watch. He keeps the game fun, and that's what I like.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You would have been good with him. I could see that. Schrader and Reed on the side.
That would have been thrown behind my back. I mean, that would have been fun. That would have been a lot of fun.
If you had tried that, have you ever tried something like that, like Mahomes did?
In practice, I've thrown balls behind my back in practice.
And the coach was like,
and in warm-ups, you warm up doing the fade drill. I've thrown it behind my back doing all that. And coaches, back then, coaches look at you with that death stare, like, don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. But when you play the game that long, you got to find ways to keep yourself entertained and have fun with it too.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I like about Andy Reid and that whole group. They have fun playing the game.
Oh yeah, no doubt. So before I get to the Monday games, you had a couple emails come in onto my email. So one was from Ruth Jackson. She's from Landover, Maryland.
Okay.
She said, with the loss of Joe Bugle lately,
yes,
can you tell us a little bit about him, since he was also Redskin Raider affiliated?
Joe Bugle was, at the time, the top offensive line coach there was. The schemes that he brought, because it was still physical. Yes, we ran the zone read type stuff early on, but it was a physical brand. It wasn't sidestep. It was sidestep and push. I mean, we're pushing them down the field. We're still going to be physical. And he had, I mean, the time that I was there, I mean, Russ Grimm's on the Hall of Fame. Joe Jacoby should be in the Hall of Fame.
So you had him with the Redskins?
I had him with the Redskins. And then by the time he got to be the head coach of the Raiders, I was already done. I was done. And so, but Joe was a great guy. And I still remember him, getting in the belly button of Joe Jacoby, screaming at him and all that. Joe's 6'9", 330, and, looking down like he's going to pound Bugle. But that was the respect. He got those guys to play and to play very well, and sorely missed, that's for sure.
So he was a no-nonsense guy then?
He was a no-nonsense
coaching-wise.
guy. Oh no.
You weren't messing around with Joe.
You didn't mess around. And when you came to the sidelines and Duke says, "Hey, we're going to make this adjustment," you went, "Okay, we're going to make this adjustment." There wasn't, "Hey, I think." He was like, "We're going to make this adjustment."
Yeah, good respect around the league too.
Yes. Yeah.
So and I figured, when she wrote me that, I thought, well, that's kind of an interesting question, because who asked about a coach,
Yeah.
But he had such a respect in all these cities.
He did.
Many cities.
And everybody in the world now runs, what we call the counter gap.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody runs a version of it now, and that all started with Joe Bugle, and how to trap pull, and a lot of people are like, you block it this way and all that way. Well, what people don't understand is our tight end actually made the call at the line of scrimmage on how we were going to end up blocking, because that was the key block.
Wow.
So, if we're going to trap him, log him, and that was all done by Donnie Warren, our tight end. So that communication went all the way down the line.
Yeah. So this other question came in from one of your Palisades High School friends.
Way back.
A girl named Jackie.
Uh-oh.
She didn't give me her last name, but she said, tell Jay I said hello from
Hi,
from
Jackie.
Palisades.
Yeah.
And wondered if you grew up in the Palisades area, because no one's ever asked you that. Who went to school with you? They just assume you grew up there.
Well, I went out there in the middle of my 6th grade years when I went to the Palisades. I came out from Minnesota. So I moved out there in the middle of 6th grade, and then I went to Paul Revere Junior High School right down from Riviera Country Club.
Oh, nice.
Right, I mean, basically same street down there, and then I went to Palisades High School. So junior high and high school out there, got a lot of good friends out there. I have one of the first guys that I met, Mike Tapia. We grew up playing baseball, football together. Mike actually lives here in Henderson now. He moved out here, so it's been fun to reconnect with him. And thank you, Mike. 20 years in the Marines. So
nice. Yes, thank you.
Appreciate his service.
Coming from a Gold Star father.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
So it's nice to do that, and it's fun. I'm connected. One of my old teammates and friends is put up a Facebook page, and he's got these old pictures of all the guys playing. So it's been a lot of fun.
Good stuff. Let's get to the Monday night game. Bills and the 49ers. Mostert should have a good game running here, but the Buffalo Bills
they're legit.
They're legit. You said that when they played here at the Raiders.
Yeah, they're legit. They've got a good football team. And this is going to be a whale of a game, because the 49ers are playing well. They are playing well, despite everything that's going on. But in the end, the Bills have got too much.
Yeah.
I just think they have too much at this point in time for the 49ers. They're just shorthanded.
Yeah.
Without Kettle, their tight end, and without quarterback, they're just shorthanded. Bills. I see the Bills winning that game.
Is Garoppolo done, you think? You're hearing so many different things.
Here again, I look at it this way. You talk about a perfect place for Sam Darnold.
San Francisco.
I think he'd thrive in Kyle Shanahan's system.
Yeah.
I think he would thrive in Kyle. Just throwing it out there, folks.
He could.
You heard it here.
He could.
If the Jets want to take Lawrence with the first pick, which they probably will, I think you get on the horn with San Francisco and say, hey, look, because I think Kyle Shanahan would have a field day with Sam Darnold.
Maybe you send Garoppolo back to Belichick.
Maybe.
They seem to like each
we
other.
got it. We got it all down. We got this. Just call us. Call us.
All right.
We'll
Washington.
fix all your problems out there, teams.
Washington is playing the Steelers. I think this is a good game for Washington to throw an upset. What do you think? No chance?
You know what? Ben Roethlisberger is not scheduled to play because of an ankle injury or something like that.
Maybe.
I still don't see it happening. I don't think, because I think the Steeler defense is just too good.
Yeah.
Okay. And, Washington's offense is limited. They don't throw the ball down the field and all that. I think it's going to be a little more competitive if Big Ben doesn't play, but I still see the Steelers winning it.
Steelers.
Yeah, I still see the Steelers.
I went all on these other shows that I do. I was like, Redskins or Washington.
Yeah.
So I just have this gut feeling. I could be totally wrong. Look, the Steelers.
I think it's that indigestion from dinner last night.
It might be that Denver Mile High trip.
Mile High trip that, you had to sit outside. The man had to sit outside and eat in Denver. Come on. What are you thinking, Rich?
Yeah. How do you like these cities that were rivals of yours? Did you like Denver?
I like Denver. My middle son actually lived up in Denver, just outside of Denver for a while. Because Denver's a beautiful city. Kansas City's a fun city. There's great.
San Diego, LA.
San Diego. I actually lived in San Diego for 20 years, so I liked San Diego.
Oh, were you commuting from way down there?
Yeah, I had a home in San Diego for 20 years. So I lived down in Poway, so I was down there.
Did they ever lead on to you like, wait a minute, you're Jay Schrader?
Oh no, it was fun because like Leslie O'Neal and a bunch of those guys. We played golf in the off season. And
so you get to know them really well.
You get to know them and all that. But San Diego was a great time. Raised my boys there and everything. So it was
San Diego.
Yep.
Man. It really bothers me. And then I heard that they turned down Vegas. They didn't want to move here.
Yeah.
They would rather go to LA. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, doesn't make sense.
Tuesday we have a game.
Tuesday.
Cowboys and the Ravens.
We had a game Wednesday last week. Why not Tuesday?
Why not Tuesday, right? Yeah, Ravens and the Cowboys. Baltimore. I just think Baltimore has to start winning.
Baltimore will make a statement.
This is the game.
Lamar Jackson will be back. He'll be reinstated. He'll be able to play. I think Baltimore makes a statement. They're the only game in town again after getting beat by Pittsburgh, shorthanded. They're gonna come back out and try to make a statement.
Yeah. Now, Senior Frogs, of course, the bar's popping, as you can see, and we've got people there. Now, it's a quiet group. They're not really yelling at you today.
It's Sunday. It's still early on a Sunday, so I think they're getting into it. Either that or they're concentrating on all their winnings.
They were yelling at you about the Raiders last week and the Patriots the other week.
And all that.
There you go. Raider fans here.
Yeah, Raiders need to get on it. They're struggling against the Jets right here, so they got to get, Just fumbled. I mean, come on now. So they got to get on it. But come on down again. Elite Corporation and Entertainment for having us here. Denny James at Senior Frogs. Again, if you have a corporate outing or anything like that, come on down. Visit Denny. Call him 702-337-7577.
That's right.
They'll get you going. 2-for-1 yards over here. I've got a lot of people hooping and hollering. I can smell the food over there, so I'm getting hungry.
I know. They got to throw a chicken sandwich our way or something. Anyway, we've got basketball, believe it or not, just starting up again.
Yeah.
It just ended.
And now they're back.
We're back. So is there anybody going to stop the Lakers?
On paper at the beginning of the year, no. Let's be honest. They've got too much. They've actually gotten better.
Yeah.
They've actually gotten better. But here again, you don't know about injuries.
Yeah.
You don't know, what's going to happen with this whole COVID thing. How are they going to do this and all that? Who's going to be out for any length of time? I think it all hinges on Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
If he can stay healthy, they're pretty tough to beat.
He signed a big deal,
especially in a series. You may beat them for a night or two, here and there, but if they're in a series and both Anthony and LeBron are healthy, they're going to be tough to beat. And they had a Dennis Schroeder now.
Yeah.
Shoot from the outside. I'm like, come on. I mean, just
And the guy from the Clippers.
Yeah. Well, they got the.
I forget his name off the top of my head.
Harrell or Harrelson.
Yeah.
Harold, yeah. So they got the top 2 vote getters in the 6th Man of the Year last year.
Jeez.
And Schroeder and him, and I'm like, okay, and they're hustle guys, and they'll be a fun team to watch.
I mean, I when you look down the list here and you think, okay, well, who's got a shot? Maybe Brooklyn with Kevin Durant coming back.
If he's healthy,
but
can he
how's
play?
How's that Achilles?
And I know he's a perimeter player, but he's still got to get down and get physical every now and then.
Yeah.
So how is that going to, the Boston Celtics, good young nucleus, but
just lacking something.
I don't think they're going. I don't think they have all the pieces. They're Golden State's going to be better. Houston Rockets are in a mess right now. Who knows what they're going to do? The Clippers are, here again, they're the anomaly. They should be good.
Yeah.
They should be able to rival the Lakers for the most part. But again, when it comes down to a 7-game series,
no,
I don't. If you got all the guys healthy playing well, the Lakers are going to take a 7-game series.
Now Doc goes to Philadelphia. He's 25-1 to win the whole thing. Boy, he's got some good talent there. But I think the thing with Doc, just from people that I know in basketball, and a lot of people too, he kind of lets the guys do what they want after a while.
Yeah.
And then they start running the show.
He's always had a veteran team.
Mm-hmm.
He's always had veterans. He's always let the veterans just kind of do their thing. Everything else, he doesn't have that in Philly.
Right.
He's got some young kids that haven't experienced that yet. So it'll be interesting to see how they go. Obviously, he's a very good coach. He's been doing it a long time. But he's always been veteran-led.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. But basketball starting up again.
Basketball starting. Here we go.
I'm glad.
Let's go. More things we can do. Everybody's looking for stuff to do. Hey, we're all looking for it. Let's go.
All right, college basketball. This is always tough. Look, you can look at the sheet. Now, somebody's going to win it. But this is the only sport where you can't predict
You can't predict.
There's just no way.
You can't predict because the way the tournament done is one and done. If you have a bad game for a long time, you're out.
Yeah.
Okay. And you could probably beat that other team 9 out of 10 times, but guess what? It's that one time. But I'll tell you what, people don't like to talk about it, but Gonzaga's got a heck of a basketball team.
Yeah.
They got a heck of a basketball team. So that'll be
5-1. They're favored.
Yeah.
Duke is 10-1.
Yeah.
Coach K is always in it.
Coach K, because he's there. Kansas will be around because of the coaching. Okay, Kentucky's always got all these young guys, and they're hitting this. Kentucky's a great example of a team that can one game look like they can't be beaten, and the next game they can't hit the broadside of the barn.
Yeah.
So you got that. But I think it's the usual subjects. What's Michigan State at?
Michigan State, 15-1.
Yeah, so they're in there, but
You never played basketball?
When I was in 10th grade, I was 5'8".
Oh, so you kind of grew in 11th.
I grew late, so I grew before
and
my 11th
coach hit
grade.
you up. Hey, come on out.
He hit me up later, and I was like, no. By the way, that background noise you heard was because the Raiders just went down to the Chiefs. To the Jets. They're 27-24 with 5.5 minutes to go. So
I just don't
Raiders got to get it together.
I don't get it. I don't understand how they play so well against the Chiefs. They play so well against all these good teams.
That's the fun challenge of being a professional athlete is when it's game time, you got to play. And you've got to find a way to be at your best. Does it always work? No. It's just like everything else. You can't always be at your best, but you've got to find enough things to do to, find a way to win the game. here they are. It's 5.5 minutes to go in the game. They're down 28-24 in New York. So they let that Jet team hang around. Now they're in a dogfight. They
So
gotta go.
yeah, so Mahomes would be no problem here.
Mahomes is no problem. Case in point, a couple of weeks ago when he got the ball back with 1:14 and one timeout, I was sitting with Napoleon McCallum watching the game, and we were like, we're going to lose.
7 plays.
It's just too much time. It's just too much time for a guy with that, capabilities and the surrounding characters. So we'll see what the Raiders do. Darren Waller's had a great game. We'll see if he can come up with a big play here and get him down the field.
They have to win this game.
They've got to. I mean, now they got to go score a touchdown. It's a 4-point game. So
if they lose this game, they're done.
If they lose this game, their playoff chances are slim. Very, very, very slim. Yeah, they're going to be on the outside. The problem with when you get down to this part of the season, when you lose a game like this, all of a sudden now you start relying on other teams to slip up, and you can't do that. At this point in time in the year, you got to start playing your best football.
Yeah,
you got to grow, and no, you can't be going backwards, and you can't be asking other teams to go backwards and to help you out.
It's very frustrating as a fan for all these Raider fans, Raider Nation.
Yeah.
They get frustrated, and I read what they write, and Carr's got to go, and Gruden doesn't know what he's doing, and how do you address stuff like that? How do
you can't address it. You got to go out and you got to perform.
Yeah.
That's the only way to address it is to get rid of it, and you got to go out and perform. You and I both know around here for the last week and a half, it's been about, hey, they finished last year 1-5, the last 6 games. You don't want to read that.
No.
So how do you change it? You go out and you change it.
You go out and win.
You go out and you win. You find a way to win a game. So here's a game where they're down by 4 with a few minutes left, and they've got to find a way to win the game.
Talk about passionate fans for a minute, because you've been around many teams. And did you ever have a fan get so crazy they approached you guys? Or?
Oh yeah. It gets scary.
Yeah.
It gets scary because you're not quite sure what's going on. Guys coming up and pointing in your face and yelling at you, and I'm just like,
we saw that with the Raider a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Where he got out of his car at the Oakland Coliseum.
Yeah. It's tough, and I understand they're passionate and all that. So are we. It's our job, know. And but let's keep cool heads, and let's not have any of that, because that's not good for me. It's not good for the game. It's not good for the players. It's not good for the fan base or anything. So enjoy it. Rally for your team. Be bummed out. I get it. You have no idea. I used to get all the time. It doesn't look like you care. Baloney. That's on the outside. That's what you have. You have to have that persona on the outside, because you've got to have thick enough skin to bounce back.
Yeah.
There's
so many fans that don't understand that, and they think that you guys don't care.
Yeah.
And you have a loss. Okay, you have a loss. You really don't have time to think about that loss. You got to go to the next game.
You got to go to the next game. It's funny what people, back when I played, Tuesdays was always our off day. So you play on Sunday, you come in, you watch the film Monday morning, you get a workout in, you watch the film, you go out, you do a walkthrough, you correct the things that you did wrong in that game, and you got to flush that game. Tuesday morning, I'm up, I'm watching film, we're getting ready for next week.
Yeah,
it's done. I can't look behind me. All I can do is look forward and try to make the next one the best I can.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So, well, the Raiders are trying to drive here.
They're getting started. A little check down, get things started here, but they got to move down the field. They got 2 timeouts, so time's not an issue. They just got to keep moving the ball down the field and find a way to score.
Now, I wanted to ask you something, because a lot of times you see, for example, a lot of the Raider players are wearing different colored cleats today. I guess there's something going on.
There's going on. It's this week is My Cause, My Cleats. My Cleats, My Cause. So they're all wearing them for different causes this week. There's autism. There's all kinds of things that they're guys. So you'll see a lot of variety of cleats out there this week. Yeah, it looks kind of funny to see Derek Carr in blue cleats. Out there, but I don't know what his are for, but it's a nice message. It's a nice way. Back in the day, we couldn't do anything like that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, are there guys that check that?
Yeah.
What are you wearing today?
Oh yeah, there's uniform patrol. Your socks have got to be up. You can't show skin. You can't do this, and you would get fined for it.
Like right now, the league is all Nike.
The league's all Nike. You have to wear Nike apparel on the field. You can't wear anything else. Unless you have a shoe deal, that's the only thing that's different. But anything uniform wise got to come from Nike.
So if you were wearing a short sleeve, like Derek Carr cuts his
Yeah.
sleeves a lot, and this was a Adidas sign, they would tell you, "Hey,
you're out.
get
You're
that
out.
shirt off."
You got to take it off, and that's the responsibility of the equipment guy to make sure that everybody is doing that properly. I mean, from the gloves to everything else. So it's crazy.
Oh my gosh, yeah, because a lot of people say, "Oh, they can get away with it." Like Antonio Brown tried,
Yeah,
and then it didn't work.
didn't work. Yeah, didn't work. I mean, they'll get in trouble. The league will come down on them because the league, Nike's paying the league a lot of money for those guys to wear.
Oh, yeah.
Nike uniforms.
Got to have the swoosh. Boy, what a
Gotta
play
have-
that just got broken.
Yeah, nice
up there.
play. Yep, great play.
Unbelievable.
Great play.
Well, getting down to the nitty gritty here.
Wow.
It's a different vibe on Sunday here. A little bit laid back. People are watching football. We don't want to interrupt them.
We do have some news though.
Talk to me.
We do have news. Next Sunday, we are going to be at Carlos and Charlie's. Next
Carlos
Sunday
and
morning,
Charlie's.
yeah. Next Sunday morning, we'll be at Carlos and Charlie's, 9:30. We'll kind of go a
We'll
little
be there.
early, so we'll do a little breakfast, get out before the morning games go, and all that. So come on down to Carlos and Charlie's next week. We're going to be
That's-
out there. We'll be out on the patio, so may have to wear a jacket. You never know.
That's at the Flamingo.
Yeah, it's out there at the Flamingo on the Strip. So we're going to move around, and they've invited us to come down, so we'll be there next Sunday.
Here we go. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Boy,
it'll be fun.
this is amazing what we have here. The amount of venues in Las Vegas, restaurant-wise,
Right. Oh,
patio-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, the views are spectacular, whatever hotel you're at.
Yeah.
And that's what I find amazing about Las Vegas is it doesn't matter what angle. It's almost like being in South Beach.
Right.
No matter what angle you're at,
Yeah.
it's nice.
It's nice. Yeah. I mean, look at it. This year we were supposed to hold the draft, and then we're going to have everybody walk across the fountains in front of the Bellagio. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. Where else can you do that, right?
Yeah.
And then you got the tower, the Eiffel Tower down there. You can see New York City.
Yeah.
Come on. We got it all. So it's a lot of fun.
Have you seen that commercial with Jamie Foxx in the Bellagio water doing the?
Doing
You're with
bet-
the pros
yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
Yeah, the betting and all that. Yeah, walking through. So there's all kinds of things. Vegas is still open. They're doing like everybody else, social distancing and limited, but it's still thriving. Still people out here doing their thing.
Jay, so there's vaccines coming out off the record here.
Yeah.
Vaccines coming out 3-4 weeks. We're supposed to have it. Does that mean everything's gonna be fine?
I don't think everything's going to be fine right away.
Yeah.
I think there'll be a big relief. We got to get it to, the first responders and those frontline people first.
Yeah.
The senior people, the most vulnerable people, and down the road. And hey, it's like everything else. It's going to take time to get it out, but let's just be thankful it's coming because we can't shut down.
No.
I mean, it's killing everybody. Everybody is at edge.
Yeah.
And everything else. I know I talked to I talked to my brother and my son in California, and they're going crazy, trying to this whole stay at home. I mean, it's ridiculous. So people need to live their lives. So let's hope that the vaccine gets here and that it is everything they said it's going to be.
So is your son your height?
Both my sons are about 6'2", a little over 6'2". They're not quite as tall as me. So,
No football?
They played football in high school. My oldest son was a heck of a baseball player. He played at UCLA, pitched for the Cardinals for a couple of years, tore his bicep tendon off his arm. So now he's the head baseball coach at San Diego Christian University. So
Wonderful.
he's loving that, doing that. So yeah,
Wow. What's his first name?
That's Brian.
Brian Strait.
Brian, yep.
Yeah.
So he's down there loving that, doing that. So all my kids were very athletic.
Was your dad athletic?
My dad was athletic, yeah. My dad was athletic, so it's just fun to watch them progress. Brian was very good at baseball. My middle son Chris played basketball and was phenomenal doing that. My daughter played volleyball. I mean, it was fun watching the kids do their thing and get involved. All my kids do different things. My daughter loved musical theater. She fell in love with that and did that for a long, long time. And so it's.
And, I tell people all the time as a parent, of course, my kids are grown up too, but my youngest, of course, Risa, she became pretty well known in gymnastics.
Yeah.
So I really didn't think all the way up until 9th grade.
Yeah.
She's just doing this gymnastics thing. It's almost over or whatever.
Right.
But then suddenly all the colleges started coming.
Yeah.
And the University of Georgia coach saw my daughter in Athens, and he said, "Is that your girl?" He said, "When she's in 11th grade, don't let her talk to anybody until you talk to me."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Is she that good?" He goes, "She's really good."
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun, and it's fun to see your kids get, that acknowledgement and that claim. I remember, going through the whole process with Brian, because he was very good coming out of high school. The Stanford coach was there, UCLA coach was there, Pepperdine, the big schools, for baseball. And, I said, I'm here to support you and run ideas by you, but it's your decision. You've got to go where you feel comfortable. And
he was with Savage then.
He went there. Savage came in his sophomore year.
Yeah,
so,
Coach Savage. I've done some work with him in the
Yeah.
past. Good guy.
Yeah, so
Seemed like a good guy.
my son had a good,
You probably know him better than I
my
do.
son had a good time playing there. Yeah, and my son was, Pac-12 Pitcher of the Year. I think he had 56
Wow.
appearances in 1 year. So he was
There was a lot of guys on that UCLA team, right?
They've had some good guys.
Garrett Cole and
My son came after Derek Cole.
what's the other guy? Max Fried.
Yeah, who's the shortstop for the Giants?
Oh, Crawford.
Crawford. He played with Crawford.
Oh, man.
Crawford was at UCLA. He came in and we all knew right then. My son was like, my job is to get him to hit the ball on the ground to Brandon. So, Brandon would make every play.
Did you know watching him he was going to make it?
Yeah, he was so smooth. It was ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
He sure helped out every pitcher. That's for sure.
Yeah,
He
and
can
he's a
play.
heck of a player. I really enjoy watching him.
He's a heck of a player.
Yeah, that's another thing. I get a lot of people who go, "Wait, you're a Dodger fan. How could you root for a Giant?" It's all about sports.
It's all about sports. The bottom line is this: we want to see good performances like everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay, and if they're on somebody else's team, if somebody has a phenomenal performance, tip your cap and you go, "Hey, you did it." So, oh no,
PI.
PI,
He got a PI on 4th and 8.
4th and 8, needed a PI. Yep, looked like he had a chance to catch a touchdown. Got a PI. So, for those of you that are watching, the Raiders are going to be first and goal on about the 7-yard line with still 2 minutes to go.
They should win this game.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so.
So, Jay, what's your favorite play you ever called that always worked? Who was the receiver? What just clicks in your head that you just see it? Is it the Coliseum? Is it Washington? Where is it?
No, I'll be honest. There was a lot of ways of doing it. Probably the best way when I was with Washington, we used to go trips right, fake home, scat right, 85 dodge. Well, basically 85 dodge was Art Monk's going in motion at 5 yards. He has the option to go in, out, or turn around. Pretty much he's going to find a way to get open. And he was, so, it's always good when you have a Hall of Famer giving him options. He was very good at it. He was outstanding. So it was.
Boy, what
was
if you
fun.
had him with the Raiders as well? Oh, jeez.
It was fun. But you know what? Tim Brown did a lot of those things.
Yeah.
Tim Brown did. It was just, Tim got hurt early in his career, but he bounced back. But Tim could do those things. And, those guys are few and far between when they get that.
They are. Well, another hour has gone by. Oh, we got some Bronco fans that showed up here. They're
Die-hard Bronco
They're
fans.
mad that I left Denver.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They're smart. It's a little warmer here than
I
Denver.
think that's
so.
Von Miller over there, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, we got a good group, but I want to thank everybody for watching, listening. Once again, maybe you want to read that with them?
Yeah, Elite Corporation and Entertainment. Thank them for here. Again, Senior Frogs, come on down. If you need something down here, Denny James is your guy, 702-337-7577. He's the guy that take care of you, all your corporate events or anything like that, bachelor parties, whatever you want to do. Denny's the man.
Denny's the man.
Denny's the
we
man.
love Denny. All right. And Magali, of course. So we have a good group, and we'll be back next week. We're going to be at Carlos and Charlie's
on Sunday.
We're going to be here Thursday. We're going to be back here.
Yeah, you'll be here Thursday.
Oh, I'll be here. You're not going to be here.
I'm
We're going to find a sub for Jay.
Yeah, I got to find a sub. I'm going to play. I'm going to play hooky. Let's just be honest with you. I'm going to play hooky. I'm going to go down to Florida and play some golf.
Oh, that'll be nice. You're going down to there quite a bit in Florida.
It's warm.
It is.
I'm a warm weather guy.
I like Florida.
Now I got a good friend, Rick, down is coming up, and we're going to play some golf. So
last question: ball lands by an alligator, because they're always on the course. What do? Do you just leave it?
The ball. I'm not.
Have you had people say, just get it. He won't bother you.
Yeah, I'm like, That alligator, no. I don't want to be alligator bait. It's only a golf ball.
How far are you going to the alligator?
I'll find another. I'll be a good 20 feet away at least.
20, because they run like,
They can go.
and they act like they
one?
can. Yeah.
Have you seen one go? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen one run, and I'm like, I don't think I can run that fast anymore. So I'll keep my distance.
Somebody said if you zigzag, right? I don't know if that works.
Well, here again, see, if the two of us were down there, the only thing I'd have to do is outrun you. So see,
Hey, Grinch.
see,
He's got a little more meat on him.
That's it. I just have to outrun you. So we'll just make that
You
work.
can do that. So. All right. Jay Schrader, thank you once again.
Thank you,
Another
sir.
great show. And
We'll see you next week.
we'll see everybody next week.